This is a spot. Stop number 6.
This is it.
So when you do the red bus tour in Pittsburgh, we decided to park at the Rivera Casino.
Rivers.
Oh, Rivers. Oh, duh, it says it right there.
Rivers Casino.
Rivers Casino. Free parking. We got hot dogs for $2. It's $1 off. Nathan's hot dogs.
$2 and
Nathan's
it's $1 off.
with a player's card. And we're gonna do this Pittsburgh hop on and off bus tour. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Red bus is here. I'm behind you.
You need to buy a ticket? You have
Yeah, we need to
reservation?
buy a ticket.
Okay.
Sure, too.
1, 2.
Okay.
You can buy me dinner.
Dinner's at home.
A
That's what you think.
a real fancy place.
We have baked
Yeah.
potatoes and
Guys,
salad.
Just a tour. Hop on, hop off.
I don't know, you want the hop on, hop off?
I'm fine with just a tour.
Yeah, just a tour, I guess.
All right.
I don't think we have time to do the rest of it.
Okay.
Oh, alright.
John,
map?
I'm your guide. I'm going to be telling you what you're looking at around the city.
Cool.
Got some other folks upstairs.
Where are you guys coming from?
We're from Fresno, California.
Oh, wow.
We don't know anything about this place except what we've discovered.
Just California.
Yeah, John, you can pick up anything you want.
That's right. All we do is drive around and get lost.
Thank you. Going upstairs. Oh,
Yeah, if you sit on the aisle seats in the front. You sit on the
excuse me.
And I am your guide. And we'll double-decker tour. And Vince is your driver. Approaching on the right, you have the Carnegie Science Center. Science centers in the nation. They have that's called the E-motion cone that will be lit up at night. If it's lit up red, that means it's going to be warmer the next day. Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, as a franchise, date back to 1933, one of the oldest. Approaching on the right, just you'll catch a glimpse of that 3 times life-size bronze replica of Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. E, that's the American Eagle Outfitters concert venue that opened up in 2010. Kind of a garage door there. That is so that in nice weather, Bettis Grill 36. A lot of folks know that Jerome Bettis war number be opened yet from all the problems. And over to the right, you've got that beautiful statue of J.P. Honus Wagner. Honus Wagner was a shortstop. He was one of the all-time expensive. After we pass the Pirates Stadium, it's only fair to share at least one Pirates joke. Why does it take so long for pirates to get through the alphabet?
Because I only know the letter R.
They get stuck at C for years.
Okay.
You have to duck your head just a little bit.
We made it.
We still have our heads.
Our heads are
Currently, we are entering the Allegheny Circle neighborhood of Pittsburgh. Allegheny Circle used to be a separate city of its own called Allegheny City, and Ridge Avenue called Millionaires Row. Now, why would that be? Well, as Pittsburgh was developing its reputation as the Steel City, it was also unfortunately becoming the Smoky City. Used to be very polluted. Does everyone know what yins means? Yins is part of our Pittsburghese lingo, and it means you ones. You may hear some Pittsburgh locals say something like, "Yins all going down a Steelers game in that." So you just listen for some of that Pittsburghese. We'll talk more about that later. Children's Museum for Randyland, just say, stop that bus. No takers. The aviary is over on the right. You can see some of the outdoor birds of the aviary. there is, I believe, an Andean condor. Amazingly, he stayed in the region. And that is the neighborhood up and to the left. You've got a lot of beautiful Victorian row houses up to the left, and the streets. Pittsburgh Children's Museum that opened up in 1983. Office. They have lots of after-school activities, everything from quilting to robotics. Us. No takers. Separate galleries inside. It's the largest museum in the country dedicated to a single artist. My favorite fun fact about Andy Warhol is that he produced, and last time 8 Elvises was the Yellow Bridge, and we're about to cross the Allegheny River on it. But if you look to the left and the right, you'll notice that this is one of 3 almost identical bridges. Collectively, they are known as the 3 Sisters. Right now, we're crossing the 7th Street Bridge, which is the Andy Warhol Bridge. Off to the right, you have the 6th Street Bridge, and that is the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Roberto Clemente was a Pittsburgh Pirates right fielder. To get into the baseball hall rails to trail system. There used to be a railroad over there, but they took it out.
I kind of want to come and stay down.
He wrote a book on President Harry Truman and another one. And we are also approaching the very first Primanti Brothers restaurant. Primanti right on the sandwich. So that hand if they have us down 18th Street to the right with the blue neon out front. A lot of folks lined up to eat at Primanti's today. He squares off with the thugs in the street, and right before they fight, he says, "Remember, you wanted this." And then, of course, he beats them up. Block off to the left, those roll whiskey. You can sit down at the bar and have a cocktail, or just get a whole bottle of whiskey, locally distilled whiskey, and dives. The city, but what is there to do? Well, if you happen to be in town on a Tuesday night, you can take a dance lesson at 11. Just say, stop that bus. No takers. Although we're going to keep. Also approaching on the right with the maroon awning, you have Strip District Meats. In addition to your T-bones and ribeyes, they have a variety of yak sometimes. I've seen that they've previously had python. Also approaching on the right, as we clear those tapestries, you're going to see the rooster at the top of DeLuca's Grill. DeLuca's was also featured on Guy Fieri's
so nice.
Oh,
Diners,
I
Drive-Ins,
know, it
and
smells great,
Dives.
doesn't it? Oh, I want some of those ponchos. Those are so cool.
You've got Cafe Raymond for some great al fresco dining. See how the folks at Cafe Raymond are doing today. What's up, Cafe Raymond? Nice to see you. Approaching on the left, you have Villanante for all your Italian favorites like pasta, pizza, salads. Hancock. And on the left, you also have Roland's Iron Landing, a popular spot for fish and seafood. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook very much about that. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook. Yeah, apparently about a dozen fish were seriously battered. They usually have 12, just say, stop that bus. All right, we got some folks that are going to hop off at stop 12, so we will stop that bus.
Doesn't it?
But yeah, that's the Big Mac. The Big Mac was invented by a Pittsburgh native named Jim Delegati. Yin's coffee shop, but Yin's is just one of the words in Pittsburghese. Another popular Pittsburghese word is nebby. Does anyone know what nebby means? Probably not going to vacuum. Instead, you're probably going to run the sweeper. That's the way to describe that. Restaurants through here. First of all, you got the Market and Pine House. If you're in the city past the weekend, they're always open, so that's good. In Siena Mercado, popular for meatballs. And also on the left, you have Bridges and Bourbon. Not too many bridges in Bourbon, so I'll let you fill that equation in on your own. Actually, several of our guests have
Nikki's Thai Kitchen.
in the late 19th. More. That's Kappa. Kappa stands for Creative and Performing Arts. One of the coolest and most 79.
Whoa.
Sorry about those low branches, folks.
That is cool.
So you have the Byam Theater and the Renaissance in the lobby of the Renaissance. And if you just take a look around the lobby, it's very beautiful. I actually had some folks from out of school. Oh, those guys waving out the second story there on top of that Renaissance. We are right on 6th Street right now, and this is a spot of some really good restaurants of 1936. In 1936, there was a very cold winter followed by a warm, rainy spring, and that led to serious flooding on the Allegheny River. As a matter of fact, if you look there's a plaque. It's about 8 inches high and a foot. It's all covered up by that scaffolding. Yeah, that's the high water mark from the flood. And we are approaching stop 15 on the tour. If you'd like to hop off at stop 15. Approaching the 11 stories taller castle. It's about the 3 o'clock off the right of the bus. And that is PPG Place. That is a 6-building complex. PPG stands for Pittsburgh Plate Glass. As a matter of fact, if you look further down Stanwyck Street to the right, you can see some of the lower buildings of PPG Place. And if you look at the McDonald's directly ahead of us and then across the street to the right from that, you can see some of the other lower parts of that PPG complex. And if you'd like to hop off at stop 16 on our tour for the Fairmont Hotel in Market Square, just say, stop that bus. Let you know that underneath that building is another stop on Pittsburgh's subway system. For John P. Harris, the guy who invented the world's first Nickelodeon. And Odeon is the Greek word for theater. All right, we are approaching 7th Avenue. See, the mural. Yeah, I totally believe that mural's worth a picture if you get a chance.
Yeah.
Intersection on the right, that long beige building, is the August Wilson Center for African playwright who grew up. That big rotunda out front is very beautiful, and it was put on the National Register of Historic Places. The Pennsylvania General James Grant, who lost a battle to the French Medical Center, but that building was originally the U.S. Steel Building.
1887.
Just stories. When the Omni William Penn opened up in 1916, they also offered a couple of unique amenities. You could get room service. Also, just through the intersection and on the right, just across Oliver Avenue, that is the Union Trust Building. If you buy on the bus. Just on the left through the intersection, County Courthouse. It was built between 1883 and 1888. It was designed by, that's actually one Oxford Center. Reminds me a little bit of Nakatomi from Die Hard, though. I know a lot of our guys usually get that more than the ladies. All right, on the left, between those two buildings on the left, the cannibal Lecter in The Silence of University opened up in 1878. It was started by a group, and it was the site of a couple of Pittsburgh movie car chases. First of all, it was in striking distance with no takers. Drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1950.
That's it.
White facade of Mercy Hospital. Mercy Hospital was unique when it opened in the city in 1846.
All that.
If you're wondering why the road is a little bumpy through here, we have heard that they're planning to put a dedicated bus lane through here. So trust us, we're used to it. We come through here 3 or 4 times a district in the down. But are they still making movies and TV in Pittsburgh to get around? The movie of the same was there are some is, and rather than wrap that baby in a pink or blue blanket, they'll wrap it in the terrible towel.
Okay.
University of Pittsburgh has just under 35,000 students. Giant tower rising up directly ahead of us. That's called the Cathedral of Learning, and it's one of the tallest university buildings in the world at 44 stories. Inside the Cathedral of Learning, there are 29 national buses of Hogwarts from the Harry Potter movies.
That's cool.
$200 years old. Foster Memorial. Stephen Foster was a great American songwriter. Some of you probably sang some. If you look to the left, you're looking into Shanley Plaza. Popular hangout spot for university students.
People in hammocks.
Belonged to nature, and that fellow in the fountain with the pointy ear. Not Wolverine. That's Pan. Pan is the Greek god of nature. Of Carnegie Mellon University, considered one of the thought by many to be up on the level of an Ivy League school. And we are also approaching stop at stop 19. Just say, stop that bus. Back to 83. It was a gift of Henry Phipps, business partner of Andrew Carnegie, the steel baron. If you are thinking about going over on the right, you have Flagstaff, only a street below littered with keys. You may also notice that some of these locks are combination locks, and makes me wonder if some of these lovers are hedging their bets a little bit. You know, if the romance. As we approach the traffic light, if you look at Diplodocus, he's made out of fiberglass. He weighs 3,000 pounds. He is 22 feet high and 84 feet long. Cabin over there across the street, and that is a replica of the one-room schoolhouse that the University of Pittsburgh started out as a log schoolhouse, and it's grown to everything you see around you for several square miles.
That's how it started off. How cool.
Also approaching on the right, you have the Carnegie Museums of Art and Natural History. E5, and is considered one of the first modern Heinz Chapel, so if you have a successful Tinder date tonight, maybe stop in afterward and put in your reservation at Heinz Chapel. They'll be ready for you just in time. Off to the right, you've got the massive pillars of Carnegie Mellon University. Of any structure in the world, you can see that they are not segmented. Each one of those pillars is cut from a single piece of limestone. Not the climax. Mr. Rogers neighborhood, because no takers. Soldiers and sailors. Up to the right is the largest monument in the country dedicated to recognizing all branches of the U.S. military. It was envisioned in the 1890s as a way for Pittsburgh to recognize its dwindling ranks of American Civil War veterans. Church dating back to 1898. And on the left, something some of you noticed before, those cylindrical buildings, those are the Litchfield Towers, freshman dorms of the University of Pittsburgh. They're also nicknamed the Beer Can Towers.
What?
And on the right for the box, you've got the hospitals of UPMC, or University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. UPMC is one of the largest employers in the state. They've got about now for a long time, the best and in some cases only way to reach some of those houses and apartments was by clear the trees. You're going to see a staircase with a street name. That's Mohawk Street over to the right.
Wow.
As we cross the Birmingham Bridge. Because if somebody calls you up and says, hey, can you come over and, I don't know, help move furniture or something, you can always say, sorry, I'm at work. I might be stuck here for a couple more hours, so go ahead and start without me. Right now it's a bar and restaurant, but take a look over to the left out the double wide. You can still eat there and get gas. No way, you gotta.
So we get a little break here.
Yeah, I totally got the tea.
There's a hot raw. There's like
I'm gonna go in someplace and get a cup of coffee.
15-20 minute break. Ooh, tree.
Coffee.
Eyeballs.
Tea. Ooh, get your face poked. Seriously, I'm like right next to it. Ah.
It took us 5 years just to buy American buses.
Oh, really?
We used to run London bus 70s.
Can imagine. Oh, yeah.
See? But it's a nice, clean
Yeah.
running Cummins
Yeah.
diesel.
That's cool.
This is stop number 1. We have 5 more stops to go. We started at the casino. It's stop number 6. VIP.
Double-decker bus tour. My name is John. I am your guide, and Vince is our driver. As we get rolling, just a couple of safety items to mention, and in some cases low tree branches. There's a bright, colorful mural that says East Birmingham. That's a Sprout Fund mural, which means it is a publicly funded mural, and there are about a lot of folks like that one because it has a Ninja Turtle about halfway back. Cowabunga, dude.
Cool.
That mural has had a good look at it. You will see the words "free to the people." That's interesting. Pittsburgh was very big in iron and steel, but did you know that Pittsburgh was also very big in glass?
Yes.
Yeah, Pittsburgh used to be. You did know that?
Yes, we went to the Heinz Museum yesterday.
Yeah, apparently they talk about that there.
That's cool.
Microbrew trend. It opened up arrows a little bit here. That's because 17th was some scaffolding outside of that building. Mortar right out into the street.
Lightning hit that building.
Nobody was hurt. It happened in the middle of the night
month
when
ago.
nobody was there.
What?
But they may still have to tear that building down because it lost its structural integrity. There was nothing in the news about exactly why that building got hit by lightning.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of pizza places here. Why? And which one's the best?
So there are a lot of restaurants and bars through here. Now, it may be sacrilege, but I like pizza. So I'm not always trying a lot of local pizzas. Although I do like Mike and Tony's Gyros, and they have pizza there. The
Okay.
pizza's good there, and I like gyros actually more than pizza.
Okay. We haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I would recommend Mike and Tony's Gyros. Approaching on the right with the pink neon, you have Jack's Bar. Jack's Bar is open 365 days a year, and they open at 6 a.m. every day. Why so early? Well, a lot of folks still do the overnight shift, and if you started work,
Day drinker.
special if you order their boneless at Pittsburgh School District. Also on the left, you have the gold dome of St. John the Church, and down at street level on the left, you have a red arrow and the word pierogi.
Oh my God, really?
I think it's a piece of a pizza, but some people love it, so okay. So there's pierogi pizza. Now, this bridge we're passing under is the Liberty Bridge. Dates back to 1928. And we're rolling pretty quickly. We're actually coming up on our next low underpass, so please keep your hands and arms inside the bus and don't stand up or try to touch the underpass. All seat infants. A lot of folks know that Pittsburgh is the Steel City and the City of Champions, but did you know that we are also the City of Bridges?
Yes.
Yeah, Pittsburgh has has 446 bridges. Bridge. It was designed by an architect named Gustav Lindenthal, and it was built in bridge. On the left, you have the Monongahela Incline. That's one of our 2 inclines in the city. Next to taking a double-decker bus tour, riding incline is one of the most fun things to do in Pittsburgh.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, they go until midnight.
Oh,
Now, I
cool.
believe you can buy a ticket with your card in that one, but at the other one, which is stop 5, $1 is round trip. Washington, you get up to the right, you have the Highmark Stadium. That's the home of our soccer team, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Unleash the hounds! In a foolish bridge is the Fort Pitt Bridge into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. And on the top deck, emerging from the tunnel and getting that beautiful view of our downtown skyline off to the right. As a matter of fact, they shot a movie in Pittsburgh called The Perks of Being Downtown. Also on the right, you have our 3 rivers. The nearest river is the Monongahela. The distant one is the Allegheny. And they flow together to form the Ohio River right out in front of Point State Park. Point State Park is a stop 15 on our tour, but right now we're approaching stop 5. As you can see, they're exactly parallel. The one's almost into the top and this one's almost in at the bottom. Iron City beer was brewed in the city since about 1877, but they lost their lease about, I don't know, in the last 20 years. Fortunately, Rolling Rock beer is also made in company, but Budweiser bought Rolling Rock and they moved the production of that out to New Jersey at Latrobe Brewing, where they used to brew. I said, you know, they used to scare some people by dressing up as ghosts to keep them off the staircase. He said, yeah, they scared a few. They also beat some people up. It was back in the 1870s. And all the fog is burned off, so you are going to have a great view.
Oh, it was fog earlier.
There was fog.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were like, it's so hazy today.
All right, off to the right, you have the downtown skyline and the point where the rivers converge, and I'm going to describe those downtown buildings, starting from the left. The one with the stair-step pyramid at the top, that is the Gulf Tower, as in Gulf Oil. The one that says UPMC at the top, that's the tallest building in Pittsburgh at 64 stories. That's the U.S. Steel Building. You may not be able to tell that that steel building is in the shape of a triangle.
Oh.
If you saw it from overhead, you'd realize that it is a triangle. The one with the pole in the middle, that's the Highmark building for Highmark Insurance. Next to the right is the BNY Mellon building. And once again, one I mentioned before, the one that looks like a giant glass. That's PPG Place, and we always get all this interference when we come to that end of the bridge.
Oh, interesting.
I've been trying to cover up the mic. We have our first and only casino in Pittsburgh, the Rivers Casino. If you are, and a lot of folks go to the casino just for the food. Parking garage. Now, I suspect they give you free parking because they're planning to get your money back inside the casino.
They got our money.
Yeah, don't tell them I told you that. I personally have never lost money in the casino, and I would never do such a thing. Yes.
But we got free parking to come on the bus.
There you go. All right, and we are approaching stop 6 on the tour for the Rivers Casino. I believe we have
This
some
is
folks
our
gonna hop off, and so we're
stop.
gonna stop that bus.
Oh, stop that bus! Stop that
Yes,
bus!
you did get a chance to shout stop
Stop
that bus.
that bus!
And just